Donald Trump posted a video on True Social of Elton John, and Trump was excited, I guess, by what Elton John says in this clip. You'll know Elton John's not a MAGA person. I'll show you a clip that emphasizes that. I'm personally a fan of Elton John. So let's see what's in this clip, why Trump liked it, respond to it, and I'll show you an epic speech that Elton John did deliver opposing MAGA to balance this out.
I know that you're not a supporter of Donald Trump's. He loves your music. How did it feel when he took the lyrics to Rocket Man and he used it as a nickname for Kim Jong-un, and then he gave Kim Jong-un
I laughed. I thought it was brilliant. I just thought, good on you, Donald. I'm the Rocket Man, yeah. Donald's always been a fan of mine, and he's been to my concerts many, many times. I've always been friendly towards him, and I thank him for his support. Yeah, when he did that, I just thought it was hilarious. It made me laugh.
He gave Kim one of your CDs and signed it. That was in one of the books about him, because Kim, I guess, didn't know the song. So,
what's that?
He gave Kim Jong-un the signed CD.
Yes.
Which
yeah.
He'd never heard of it.
I know, because he hasn't heard of me, Kim Jong-un. Maybe I'd be very surprised if he had. I've never toured North Korea, and I have no intention of doing so. But it was. I thought it was a light moment, and it was fun.
Elton? I don't know about that. What? So, something that I acknowledge about myself is that I probably have an unhealthy relationship with politics, meaning it's too obsessive. It is, okay? People always ask me, what are your hobbies? Politics, I don't know. Hanging out with friends and trying to get them to talk about politics. Spending time with family, talk about politics. Listening to political things. So I sometimes understanding that will say, Luke, don't be a Debbie Downer. Because sometimes people just want to talk about things. And everything doesn't have to be, why did you say Trump's threat to democracy? He's threat to democracy. He's threat, right? Elton John's just saying, oh, it's kind of a funny quip Trump made. We're moving on. But it does feel a little weird, especially because Kim Jong-un was brought up. Was it really that funny when he was saying, I have a bigger red button than you do, Kim Jong-un, and I can actually use it? Oh, and then to show you the emotional disaster that is Trump, he goes from that, saying, I might have to nuke you, Kim Jong-un, to, oh, Kim Jong-un's so smart and so handsome and so sexy. Okay, the last two he didn't say. But why did he say that? Because he went to North Korea and was so impressed by how everyone stands at attention for Kim Jong-un. How all of his generals, I want my generals to stand at attention like Uns do, Kim's do, Kim Jong-un's do. A clip that we've watched of Trump. And just something that's surface level, being the attention and loyalty that's given to Kim Jong-un because he's a dictator was enough for Trump to say, I want to be best friends now. And then he started writing love letters. Is there a more toxic relationship than that? I'm going to nuke you. Nope, I'm in love with you. Trump called them love letters, not me. So when this is brought up, Debbie Downer me wants to say, Elton, what are you talking about? You're on good terms with Trump. No. He, in a clip I'm going to play for you at the Stonewall event with President Joe Biden, spoke out against the attack on LGBTQ Americans by the MAGA movement. Who's at the top of that movement? So you know what I would have loved to see? Again, is this like a weird antisocial thing to say in response to everything? Maybe. But I do think he should have said, yeah, that was funny in a sense, but also scary that our commander-in-chief would call him Rocket Man. And also, have you noticed, Variety interviewer, that now Trump has this bizarre obsession with authoritarian leaders like Kim Jong-un? But maybe that's not fun enough or normal enough of a response. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. And, of course, I'm referencing stuff like this.
Was doing, and now he's backing a woman that I know very well, a woman that is not capable of doing this job. I know her very well. She's not tough enough, she's not smart enough, and she wasn't respected enough. She cannot do this.
This was about Nikki Haley, by the way. This was the event where he did the Nikki Haley about Nancy Pelosi.
She's not going to be able to deal with President Xi. She's not going to be able to deal with Putin and Kim Jong-un and all of the people the very fine people you have to deal with.
Very fine people. Man, that phrase really gets him into trouble far too often. What's fine about the mass suffering of Kim Jong-un's citizens? The fact that because he's so hungry for power, he allows for that to go on, to continue holding on to it. In the other countries he's referencing, what's so fine about the mass slaughtering of people because of the invasion of Ukraine by Putin? But Trump doesn't care about those broader points. He just thinks it's cool that they're so powerful. But that's not supposed to be the value that you value the most in this country, Donald.
I don't think that anybody's ever done before. Plus, in certain cases, I see many of you in the room where I'm speaking to you on phones, I'm speaking to radio, I'm speaking to television. Television's coming over here. Excuse me, what are we doing right now? She's not doing any news conference. You know why she's not doing it? Because she can't do a news conference. She doesn't know how to do a news conference. She's not smart enough to do a news conference. And I'm sorry, we need smart people to lead this country, because our country's never been in this danger before, both economically and from an outside perspective. Russia doesn't respect us anymore. China doesn't respect us anymore. North Korea, Kim Jong-un, liked me a lot. He doesn't like this group. We are in great danger.
Trump keeps saying, Kim Jong-un wants me back in power. Kim Jong-un liked me more. MAGA, is that not weird to you? I hear the more foundational argument of, hey, it's not bad to interact with and engage in diplomacy with our adversaries. Of course not. Sometimes you gotta have peace with and negotiate with and interact with very bad leaders. But it's gone far beyond that, and you know it. Because if Trump's saying, vote for me, hashtag endorsed by Kim Jong-un, is that a good thing? Why do you think Kim Jong-un liked him in power? Do you really think it's because somehow Trump came up with a way to benefit both of our interests and so it's perfect for this dictator? Or do you think it's because Trump can be manipulated by people by seeing a big long line of soldiers? Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Look how big that flag is. I'll give you anything. Now, I mentioned Elton John at this event with Biden a couple months ago now, saying this.
Over 540 anti-LGBTQ plus bills were introduced in state legislatures across America this year. Disgraceful. And discrimination and criminalization threaten the lives of our LGBTQ plus family from Kingston to Kampala. At the Elton John AIDS Foundation, along with our partners and allies, we fight these human rights abuses around the world every day as we seek to open hearts and minds and find innovative ways to move forward. And, as President Biden has reminded us, today too, we face one of those seminal moments. Do we stand up for our vision and our values, or let misinformation and senseless scapegoating turn back the clock? No fucking way. No.
Biden's reaction in the background is iconic. He does this, and then he pretends like he's going to run off the stage because he shouldn't be behind him for that.
In this moment, too, we must take pride and fight.
Sorry, I'm lightheaded. This is a serious topic. But let's watch that exchange one more time. Don't watch Elton John, just watch Biden. I've said this before. I think that was the second time on the show I almost collapsed a lung.
Or let misinformation and senseless scapegoating turn back the clock. No fucking way. No. In this moment, too, we must take pride and fight on. So let us honor LGBTQ plus people everywhere who have journeyed for justice and commit, as I do, as long as I'm still standing, to continue to stand with you as we together create a better, fairer, and more just world for us all. Thank you. Have a great and happy Pride. Bless you.
Good job, man.
Yeah. So that makes me believe that Elton John is going to go vote for Vice President Kamala Harris over Trump. I'm pretty certain of it. And I get that. Who do you know who you ask about Elton John and they go, ugh, gross. No, I hate Elton John. I hate his music. No, I've met no one. You know, people who go, oh, I don't know, I'm not a huge, but almost everyone has positive perception of his music. I remember, I'm not gonna say who, I had, and just so you know, okay, it was sort of one of those situations where I had to be acquaintances with this person, given the environment we were in. Super anti-gay. And also, I was confused by how often he would repeat this, but he would constantly say to me, man, Elton John, I don't agree with that lifestyle, but he's incredible. And I'm like, he's incredible, for sure. And then a week would pass by, and it would be, gosh, you know, you'd hear, Benny and the Jets. And he would go, man, that Elton John, I don't know about husband, but that's some good music, right? So even the haters love him. And so given that, I'm sure he's mindful of, I don't want to alienate people like Trump apparently. So clearly Trump supporters, because who supports Trump more than Trump? Like Elton John's music, I don't want to alienate them because I'm not in politics. I'm doing my music stuff. But at this moment, y'all know me. I'm such a stickler. Just speak out. You know what's right. And maybe he will. Maybe he has. But that clip definitely was a little bizarre. Let me know what you thought of it. Is it fine? Whatever. It's just lighthearted. Luke, you're being weird. Or do you get sort of my discomfort with it? You can let me know. Then you can support the show by clicking the join button below. And that makes what we do possible. And we just have a ball of a time, okay? Our members. It's great. And then you can donate to Vice President Kamala Harris' campaign by clicking the link in the description of this video.